Yeah, I think this will work. You can join me while I put on my makeup because I think there's some parallels to deconstructing. Let's talk about it. First thing we're going to do is push our hair out of our face and take a look at what we look like without any makeup on. Because for many of us, we don't recognize ourselves. We only know ourselves through the lens and the narratives of what people have said about us. Told us who we are, what we believe. What do I believe if I don't believe what I was raised to believe by my family, my church? Yeah, I'm ready to do this work. So the first thing I'm going to do is put on this, what is this called? I have to put my glasses on. It's a poreless face primer, and because I do have massive pores on my face, I like to put this on, rub it around my nose. It's also a reminder of the framework, the groundwork that you're going to be doing, the foundation you're doing of your deconstructing, because that's what's going to strengthen you. And it's going to be different for everyone, but this is a reminder to just be gentle with yourself, because oftentimes who we are underneath is so fragile and a little flawed, but yet so beautiful. That's who we're going to discover. Okay, let's keep going. Now I'm going to start with concealer. I use 3 different ones. This is the boomer version. So the first one goes along my nose and along my cheek. And I just dab a little bit under my eyes. And I just put a little bit of that underneath and a little bit along my nose where I always seem to have a little bit of irritation. And then I have the nastiest. Concealer reminds us that our faces are very different, and what works for you might not work for other people. And this works for me, and it's just like deconstructing. It's not one size fits all. My journey is going to look different than your journey because it's going to depend on your lived experiences, your indoctrinated beliefs, and how they impact you, and also what trauma you're carrying. Just blend it in. And this is where the real work begins, because if I leave this blotched in different places, nothing's going to look good. You've got to take your time, and you can't rush this. You know where I'm going with this, right? If I'm not patient with this process and really take my time, it doesn't matter what I put on over it, it's not going to look good. That's kind of like deconstructing. If I don't take the time for this foundational work, I may still be holding on to indoctrinated beliefs that convince me of my moral or spiritual superiority. You don't realize how much of our indoctrination was steeped in white Christian nationalism, even though you may have never heard that word until recently. Trust me, it was all there. This is a reminder to do this part, whatever you do, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good, but also as a reminder that we're still underneath here. It doesn't matter how many layers of this we put on. Purity of who we are, the integrity of our character is all still there. You can't mask it with makeup. That's why deconstructing work, soul work, inner child work, whatever you want to call it, shadow work, it's all very important. Makeup will never mask and make you a nice person. Yeah. I'm just going to put on a little foundation, and this is just a little Neutrogena, and I just take it and I just rub a little bit. And all I do here is just take it and put it in the areas where I didn't specifically put the concealer. I'm going to go back with a softer brush and blend it in. And yes, this is where we want to be careful. I see some really funny creators making fun of the foundations that we used to wear in the 80s because it looked like we were wearing a mask. And we have to be careful with that in deconstructing as well. This is just a chance for us to do this work and smooth out those spots and make sure that we have people in our circle that would tell us, hey, your mask is a little too heavy. You might want to work on smoothing out those lines. You might want to work on that ego. You might want to take a step back and go back to the very beginning and work on some of the work that we need to do so that we are actually coming into deconstructing with a commitment to be a better version of ourselves. I'm going to add a little blush because you start to recognize yourself. This is where you're starting to move into authenticity, and you understand and embrace that the person you were always supposed to be, you are now becoming. You're empowered in your spirituality, and you start to know your truth. This is exciting. Little eyeliner to finish out the edges because you like who you're becoming. You deserve to take time with yourself and show a little originality in how you're going to show yourself to the world. And everybody does this differently, and I applaud it. Mascara is so wonderful, isn't it? It kind of just helps your eyes just stand out from your face, eliminates your beauty, right? Kind of like deconstruction does. It opens you up to all new kinds of awareness and makes you see that there is more paths of spirituality that are true. That what you were taught about other people being evil, or that your belief in a God meant that you had to hate others, or that somehow if someone didn't believe like, look like, or love like you do, they were going to hell. None of that's true. And not only can you see, people see you. They start to see you for who you truly are. And you start to step in and celebrate your authenticity. Set the hair, because this is about all I do to it every day. Find my glasses so I can see. Put on lip liner, because I am so grateful for my voice. So grateful that I walked the deconstructing journey and share my story with others to help them on their journeys. Beautiful souls, I know that you have a story to share as well. Just know that the work of deconstructing will absolutely change you, and you will be a better version of yourself if you're committed to doing the work. Have a good day.